Have you ever noticed how the quietest moments in life often hold the deepest secrets? There is something about the late hours, when the world slows down, when the only sounds are the soft creaks of your home and the beating of your heart, that reveals things we miss during the busy hours of the day. Tonight, you may find yourself reaching for a little something before bed. Just a slice of bread, just a small bowl of fruit, maybe a few crackers with a cup of warm tea. It feels harmless, comforting even. After all, you have lived long enough to know that life's little pleasures should be embraced, not denied. But what if I told you that these simple late-night habits, so small, so innocent, could be quietly shaping your future health? That each little bite, each small indulgence before sleep, might be writing a story inside your body that you would rather not read years from now? You see, after 65, your body begins to change in ways you may not even feel at first. Digestion slows. The heart beats a little differently. The body's ability to repair itself during sleep becomes more delicate, more precious. Late-night eating, something you once did without a second thought, can now ripple across your entire system. It can steal the deep, healing sleep your heart and brain so desperately need. It can quietly stir your blood sugar into chaos, even when you think you are choosing something healthy. It can build a silent fire of acid in your chest, waking you in the loneliest hours of the night. It can invite weight, not the weight you see immediately, but the hidden, stubborn kind that lingers in dangerous places. And over time, it can whisper into your heart, weakening the strength you rely on to live fully and freely. Most people will never hear these warnings. Most will continue, night after night, believing that one more snack, one more bite, is harmless. But tonight, because you are here, because something inside you is listening, you have the rare chance to change your future story. This is not about giving up joy. This is not about fear. It is about seeing the invisible lines that connect tonight's choices to tomorrow's freedom. So, before you reach for that small snack tonight, I invite you to stay with me for just a few minutes. Because there are 5 hidden dangers that no one talks about when it comes to eating before bed after 65. And knowing them could be the soft, powerful turning point you never knew you needed. Are you ready to see what most people miss? Let's begin. Imagine this. It is a gentle evening. The sky outside is fading from deep blue to the soft hush of night. Inside your home, the lights are dim, a favorite chair waits for you, and the day's busyness has finally settled into a quiet hum. You move slowly through your familiar routine. Maybe you close a book you have been reading. Maybe you finish folding the last piece of laundry. Or maybe you simply sit, feeling the weight of the day slowly lift from your shoulders. And then it comes. That small, familiar tug. A little voice inside that says, I could use just a bite. Just a little something before bed. Maybe it is a memory from years ago, when sharing a late-night snack with a loved one was a simple pleasure. Maybe it is just the comfort of ritual, a way to ease yourself gently into sleep. Whatever the reason, your steps move almost without thinking toward the kitchen. You open the pantry. Your hand reaches out. A cookie, a handful of nuts, a slice of toast with butter, a small glass of milk. Nothing heavy, nothing extravagant. Just enough to quiet the hollow feeling before the night fully wraps around you. You eat slowly, gratefully, the way people who know the value of small joys often do. And then, with a satisfied sigh, you turn off the lights, tuck yourself into bed, and drift into dreams. Or at least, that is what you hope for. But somewhere deep inside, without your knowing, a different story begins to unfold. Instead of peaceful restoration, your body shifts into work mode. Instead of sinking into deep, healing sleep, your digestion stirs to life, pulling energy away from the very systems that need to rest. Your blood, so carefully balanced, suddenly must rise to the challenge of processing sugar, fat, and starch at an hour when it yearns only for stillness. Your heart, your stomach, your liver, they all whisper their protests, but the sounds are too soft to hear above the comfort of habit. Night after night, the story repeats itself. Night after night, tiny, invisible changes weave themselves into the fabric of your being. Maybe at first, you notice only small things. You wake up feeling a little more tired than usual. Your mouth feels dry. Your legs feel heavy. Your dreams, once vivid and sweet, become fractured and restless. You tell yourself it is just part of aging. After all, everyone says sleep gets harder with time. You do not think to blame the tiny snacks, the quiet rituals that feel so harmless, so deserved. But over months and years, the pattern deepens. The body, carrying the hidden burden of late-night eating, begins to whisper a little louder. Weight gathers stubbornly around your middle. You feel your energy dipping earlier in the day. Occasional heartburn creeps into your evenings, first once a month, then once a week. Your doctor mentions slight changes in your blood sugar levels, maybe even talks about prediabetes. Your blood pressure, once steady and reliable, edges slowly upward. Still, it feels disconnected. The body's warnings are slow, quiet, easy to brush aside. Until one day, the story catches up. Not with a grand event, not with a sudden crash, but with a slow, undeniable truth. Your body is more tired than it should be. Your heart beats with more effort. Your sleep no longer refreshes you the way it once did. And you find yourself longing for the easy strength you once had, strength you did not even realize you were losing. And all along, hidden in plain sight, was the humble habit of late-night eating. So small, so easy to overlook, so deeply woven into the life you love. But here is the beautiful thing about stories. They can be rewritten. They can be retold. Even now, even tonight. Because when you know the hidden dangers, when you finally see the quiet footprints they leave on your future, you gain a rare and precious gift. The chance to choose differently. The chance to honor your body's quiet needs with the same tenderness you offer to your loved ones. The chance to protect your nights, your dreams, your heart. Not with fear, not with harsh rules, but with a gentle, knowing love that says, I am still writing my story, and I choose to write it well. Tonight, before you reach for that small, familiar comfort, I invite you to listen just a little longer. Because understanding what truly happens when you eat before bed after 65 can be the soft turning point that keeps your future bright, strong, and free. In just a moment, I will share with you the 5 hidden dangers that almost no one talks about. But once you hear them, you will never look at a late-night snack the same way again. Let's walk through them together, one quiet truth at a time. There is something few people tell you about life after 65. Something that hides beneath the smiles, the birthday cards, the gentle congratulations of reaching another milestone. It is the quiet truth that your body, the same body that carried you through decades of laughter, tears, love, work, and dreams, begins to speak a different language. It is not sudden. It does not shout. It whispers. And if you are not listening carefully, you might miss what it is trying to tell you. After 65, every system inside you moves just a little differently. The shifts are small at first, almost invisible. But over time, they change the way your body responds to the world, to food, to sleep, to stress, and yes, even to the simple act of eating before bed. Let me walk you through the hidden world unfolding inside you, so you can understand why these small nighttime choices matter more now than ever before. First, let's talk about digestion. Your digestive system, that tireless engine that has served you faithfully for decades, begins to slow. The muscles that push food through your intestines weaken slightly. The enzymes that break down your meals are produced more slowly. The stomach empties at a gentler pace, like a river losing its urgency as it winds toward the sea. What does this mean for you? It means that food eaten late at night stays longer in your stomach, asking your body to stay awake internally even when you are trying to sleep. It means a small snack at 10 p.m. can ripple through your system, disrupting the sacred rhythms of healing that your body craves in the deep hours of night. You may not notice it at first. Maybe you fall asleep easily. Maybe you wake feeling just a little heavier, a little less refreshed. It is easy to dismiss, easy to blame on aging. But inside, your body is waging a silent battle, trying to digest and repair at the same time, a battle it cannot win without cost. Next, your blood sugar. One of the most delicate balancing acts your body performs every day is managing the sugar in your blood. It is a dance of hormones and signals, a quiet masterpiece of coordination. But after 65, this dance grows more fragile. Your cells become less sensitive to insulin. Your body becomes slower at clearing sugar from your blood. When you eat late at night, especially carbohydrates, sweets, or even heavy proteins, you force your body into emergency mode. Blood sugar rises just when your body should be winding down. Instead of restful restoration, your organs work overtime to bring balance. And over months and years, This nightly burden can quietly erode your body's ability to protect itself, leading to higher risks of prediabetes, diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Again, you might not feel it tonight. You might not feel it next month. But over time, the cost accumulates like unseen snow piling on a fragile roof. And then there is sleep, the precious, irreplaceable gift of deep, restorative sleep. After 65, your body's ability to reach the deepest stages of sleep, the stages where healing, memory consolidation, and emotional restoration happen, becomes more precious and more vulnerable. Any disruption, even something as seemingly small as nighttime digestion, can steal these vital stages from you. You might sleep through the night, but wake feeling oddly exhausted. You might dream less vividly. You might find your emotions more fragile, your memory a little cloudier, your resilience a little thinner. You might not connect it to the sandwich you had before bed, the cookie you nibbled while watching television. But inside, your body knows. And then there is your heart. The heart, that loyal drumbeat that has never once stopped, never once asked for a day off, becomes more sensitive after 65. Late-night eating can disturb heart rhythms, increase nighttime blood pressure, and quietly wear down the strength of this most essential organ. It is not dramatic. It does not announce itself with pain or panic. It is a slow, almost tender wearing away of vitality. One night seems harmless, but one night becomes a week. A week becomes a month becomes years. And one day, you realize your body no longer feels like the safe, sturdy home it once was. Finally, there is the matter of weight. Not the number on the scale, though that too may shift, but the kind of weight that settles deep in the body. Visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps itself around organs, fueling silent inflammation and increasing risks of heart disease, stroke, and metabolic disorders. Late-night eating, especially when it becomes a quiet habit, feeds this hidden fire. And because metabolism slows after 65, your body is less able to burn these late calories efficiently. They linger, they settle, they take root, not immediately visible, but steadily, faithfully changing the landscape of your inner health. And so you see, what once seemed like a harmless pleasure, a small comfort at the end of the day, now carries different consequences. Not because you have done anything wrong, not because you are weak, but simply because time has changed the rules of the game and no one took the time to explain it to you. But you are listening now. You are paying attention. And that, in itself, is a powerful, beautiful thing. Because knowledge is not a burden. It is a gift. It is a light you can carry into the nights ahead. Tonight, you stand at a doorway. One side leads to the familiar habits, the comforting rituals that have brought you this far. The other side leads to a deeper honoring of the body you have spent a lifetime living in, a body that now asks you to listen more carefully, to love more wisely. No one can choose for you. There is no shame, no judgment, only invitation. An invitation to see the invisible links between a late-night snack and a restless night, between a restless night and a tired morning, between a tired morning and a quieter heart. An invitation to honor the sacred work your body does each night, work you cannot see, but which sustains every breath, every step, every dream still waiting inside you. An invitation to love yourself not by denying pleasure, but by choosing pleasures that serve your tomorrow, not just your tonight. Because you, my friend, are still writing your story. And every choice you make now, even the smallest one, even the choice to say, "Tonight, I will rest with an empty stomach and a full heart," ripples forward into a stronger, freer, more beautiful future. This is why eating before bed after 65 is not just about food. It is about love. It is about freedom. It is about honoring the quiet wisdom of a life well lived, and a life still waiting to be fully lived. And now, with that wisdom in your heart, you are ready to see the 5 hidden dangers that most people never talk about. Let us step into that deeper knowing together. There are dangers so quiet, so easily overlooked, that they become part of our nightly routines without us ever noticing. But tonight, you are choosing to notice. Tonight, you are choosing to listen. Let me walk with you through the 5 hidden dangers of eating before bed after 65, the silent forces that shape your nights, your health, and your future. 1. Disrupted sleep and restless nights. The body after 65 craves deep, uninterrupted sleep like the earth craves rain after a long summer. Yet, when we eat close to bedtime, we ask our body to split its energy between two sacred tasks: digestion and restoration. Picture it this way. Imagine your body as a quiet village preparing for nightfall. Shops closing, lights dimming, streets emptying for peaceful rest. But suddenly, a shipment of goods arrives. Unexpected, demanding, urgent. The villagers scramble. Lights flicker back on. Workers rush into the streets. The calm of night is broken. This is what happens inside you when you eat before bed. Your digestive system, instead of resting, must leap back into activity. The deep stages of sleep, the ones that cleanse your brain, heal your tissues, and renew your spirit, are disrupted, shortened, or even missed entirely. You may fall asleep, yes, but your sleep is lighter, more fragmented. You wake up feeling as if you never truly rested. And over time, restless nights become restless days. Fatigue steals your joy. Memory grows hazy. Hope feels heavier. It begins with something as small as a late-night bite. 2. Silent blood sugar spikes. After 65, the delicate art of balancing blood sugar becomes harder to perform. Your body's sensitivity to insulin fades like a well-worn path, growing faint through the woods. Late-night eating pours fuel onto this fragile system. When you eat carbohydrates or sugars before sleep, your blood sugar rises at the very moment your body is least prepared to handle it. Instead of lowering naturally through the night, your levels stay elevated, stressing your pancreas, your heart, your brain. You might not feel it. There might be no immediate dizziness, no tremors, no alarms. But inside, tiny fractures appear in the invisible scaffolding of your health. Night after night, elevated blood sugar leaves its quiet scars, thickening arteries, dulling insulin response, exhausting your body's natural defenses. The danger lies not in one indulgent night, but in the quiet rhythm of repetition, the soft erosion of resilience. You wake up, day after day, just a little less strong, a little less clear, without ever knowing why. 3. Increased risk of heartburn and acid reflux. There is an old wisdom. The body speaks first in whispers, then in shouts. Heartburn is one such whisper, a gentle burning in your chest, a sour taste in your throat after lying down. It is easy to dismiss. A glass of water, a few antacids, a shrug and a smile. But heartburn after 65 carries heavier risks. When you eat close to bedtime, the muscle at the base of your esophagus, the valve that keeps stomach acid from rising, relaxes more easily. Gravity, which during the day keeps stomach contents in place, no longer protects you when you lie down. Acid flows backward, bathing delicate tissues in irritation. Night after night, the lining of your esophagus weakens. Over months and years, silent inflammation can grow into more serious conditions. Ulcers, strictures, even, in rare but real cases, esophageal cancer. It starts so quietly. A few nights of discomfort, a few months of ignoring it. But over time, the body remembers every insult, every injury left unhealed. 4. Quiet weight gain that sneaks up. There is a moment, sometime after 65, when the body's rhythm of energy changes almost imperceptibly. Calories that once fueled movement now settle more easily into storage. The furnace of metabolism burns lower, slower, softer. When you eat late at night, when your body is preparing to rest rather than burn energy, these extra calories find nowhere to go but inward, into fat cells, into visceral layers that wrap organs and silently fuel inflammation. You may not notice it on the scale. At first, it is a tightening of your waistband, a heaviness in your steps, a slight shortness of breath after simple chores. The danger of quiet weight gain is not vanity. It is not about appearance. It is about the way hidden fat changes the chemistry of your body, raising blood pressure, stressing your heart, clouding your mind, weakening your immune system. And because it happens slowly, kindly, almost lovingly, it is easy to miss until one day you wonder where your lightness went, where your easy strength wandered off to. 5. Elevated risk of heart problems. Finally, the danger that ties all the others together, the silent strain on your heart. Your heart, that fierce, faithful muscle, does not ask for much. A steady rhythm, a clean river of blood, the freedom to rest during the stillness of night. But when you eat late, especially rich, salty, or sugary foods, your heart must work harder at the very time it should be resting. Nighttime blood pressure rises subtly. Heart rate variability decreases, a hidden marker of cardiovascular stress. The risk of arrhythmias, small strokes, and heart attacks edges upward. Not tomorrow, not next week, but someday, woven into the unseen future you are living toward. The tragedy is not that these risks exist. The tragedy is that so few people are ever told how simply they could be softened, even avoided. A choice as simple as closing the kitchen after dinner. A habit as small as choosing water instead of a midnight snack. A ritual as loving as listening to your body's quiet request for stillness, not stimulation, before sleep. Each of these dangers, alone, might seem manageable. But together, over months and years, they weave a future very different from the one you deserve. A future of fatigue instead of vitality. Of chronic illness instead of graceful aging. Of missed dreams instead of adventures still waiting to be lived. But tonight, because you are listening, because you are choosing to see what few dare to see, you have the rare chance to choose differently. You can honor your nights. You can protect your dreams. You can love your body in the quiet hours when it needs you most. And you can do it not with fear, but with love. The deepest kind of love, the love that says, I am still here. I am still strong. I will still choose to care for myself, even now. Let us now walk into the soft light of wisdom together, to see not just the dangers, but the beautiful possibilities that open when you honor your body's true needs. Because the story of your future is still being written. And tonight, you hold the pen. Now that you have seen the quiet dangers hidden in something as simple as a late-night snack, you might wonder, what can I do instead? The beauty of wisdom is that it never demands perfection. It does not scold. It does not shame. It simply lights a new path and waits patiently for you to take the first step. Tonight, let us talk about that path. The small, loving choices you can make to protect your nights, your heart, and your dreams, without feeling deprived, without feeling punished, but with a sense of tender care for the life still unfolding within you. First, the simplest and most powerful shift. Move your last meal earlier. If possible, aim to finish eating at least 3 hours before you plan to sleep. If you sleep at 10 p.m., try to have your final meal by 7 p.m. This gentle window gives your body enough time to digest, to settle, to enter the sweet rhythms of nighttime repair without distraction. It is not about eating less. It is about giving your body the gift of time. Time to process, time to heal, time to prepare for deep, nourishing sleep. If your evenings are busy, or if you simply cannot avoid a later meal sometimes, do not be harsh with yourself. Even moving dinner earlier by 30 minutes is a victory. Every small adjustment is a seed planted toward a stronger tomorrow. Second, if you find yourself truly hungry after your final meal, listen carefully. True hunger, the kind that feels deep, persistent, gentle, deserves kindness. But not all hunger is true. Sometimes it is thirst wearing the mask of appetite. Sometimes it is emotion, loneliness, boredom, a desire for comfort. So before reaching for food, pause. Drink a glass of warm water or herbal tea. Chamomile, lemon balm, or a light green tea can soothe the body, ease digestion, and calm the heart. If hunger remains after this pause, if it still speaks clearly and sincerely, choose a light, easily digestible snack. A few almonds, a small piece of banana, a spoonful of plain yogurt. Something gentle, something the body can carry lightly into the night without burden. The key is not to deny yourself. It is to feed yourself with wisdom, to distinguish between the voice of true need and the whisper of habit. Third, build a new nighttime ritual, a ritual that nourishes you without food. Maybe it is a slow walk around your garden as the last light fades. Maybe it is sitting quietly by the window, watching the stars appear. Maybe it is writing a few words of gratitude in a journal. Maybe it is simply lighting a candle, breathing deeply, and saying, "Today, I have lived. Tonight, I will rest." By replacing the ritual of snacking with a ritual of reflection, you satisfy the deeper hunger, the hunger for peace, connection, meaning, that late-night food can never truly fill. Fourth, create a gentle boundary around your kitchen at night. Not a harsh rule, but a loving agreement with yourself. After dinner, the kitchen closes like a beloved book at the end of a beautiful chapter. It will be there in the morning. It will welcome you again with warmth and abundance. But for tonight, it rests. And so do you. You might even make this visible. turning off the kitchen lights, covering the counters, placing a small sign that says, "Thank you, body," where you can see it. Small symbols matter. They speak to the heart more powerfully than rigid rules ever could. Fifth, practice forgiving yourself. There will be nights when you eat late. There will be holidays, gatherings, moments of celebration when food and laughter flow freely into the night. Do not let those moments turn into guilt. Do not let one late meal become an excuse to abandon the path of wisdom. One step back does not erase the journey. One moment of softness does not undo the strength you are building. Simply return. Return to love. Return to care. Return to the gentle choices that honor your future self. Because this is not about achieving some impossible standard. It is about weaving a new pattern, slowly, patiently, tenderly, into the fabric of your life. And every choice you make, even the smallest one, strengthens that pattern. Every glass of water instead of a cookie. Every early dinner instead of a late snack. Every grateful breath before bed instead of restless grazing in the kitchen. Each one is a thread of gold you are stitching into the story of your tomorrow. Tonight, you have a chance to become a guardian of your own future, a caretaker of your nights, a quiet protector of the life still unfolding within you. Not by fighting yourself, not by shaming yourself, but by loving yourself so fiercely, so tenderly, that even the smallest choices become acts of devotion. And so, as the night deepens, as the stars scatter across the dark velvet sky, I invite you to make a choice. Not out of fear, not out of guilt, but out of love for the person you are still becoming. Love them enough to let your nights be still. Love them enough to let your body rest. Love them enough to offer a new kind of nourishment, one born not from habit, but from wisdom, from care, from hope. Because you, my dear friend, deserve nothing less. And it begins tonight. There is something beautiful, almost sacred, about the quiet hours before sleep. It is a time when the noise of the world fades, when the heart speaks in softer tones, when the soul listens a little more closely. Tonight, as you sit here with me, you are not just learning about food or health or habits. You are remembering something far deeper. You are remembering that your life, your one precious, unrepeatable life, is made of 1,000 small choices, 1,000 small moments woven together into the story only you can live. And tonight, you have seen how even the smallest choice, the choice of whether to eat before bed or not, can ripple out in ways far beyond what you can see. It is not just about a snack. It is about your future mornings. It is about your future strength. It is about your future dreams, the ones still quietly waiting inside you. Maybe you thought, before tonight, that these little decisions did not matter, that aging was inevitable, that decline was unavoidable, that it was too late to change anything now. But it is not too late. Not for you. Not for the dreams still breathing inside your chest. Not for the days still waiting to be lived with energy, with clarity, with joy. Because every time you choose to honor your body's quiet needs, you reclaim a little more of your future. Every time you listen to your heart instead of habit, you strengthen the life still flowing within you. Every time you say, "Tonight, I will rest instead of reaching," you weave another thread of gold into the story of your becoming. And the most beautiful thing is, it is not about perfection. It is not about never making mistakes, never reaching for comfort when you are lonely or tired. It is about returning, again and again, with kindness. Returning to the path of love. Returning to the wisdom your own body whispers to you if you are willing to listen. Tonight, you have heard those whispers. Tonight, you have remembered that your nights are not just hours to pass, but sacred spaces to heal, to restore, to dream. And because you have remembered, you hold something precious now. The power to change the story of your life, not with grand gestures, but with small, faithful acts of love. Maybe tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you will feel a little clearer. Maybe in a few days, you will notice your sleep deepening, your mornings brightening. Maybe in a few weeks, you will find strength in your step, laughter in your breath, hope rising quietly inside you again. Or maybe the change will be even softer, a peace blooming slowly inside you, like a garden in spring, almost invisible until one day you look around and realize you are blooming too. All because you chose tonight to listen. All because you chose tonight to love yourself a little more tenderly. All because you chose tonight to believe that it is never too late to heal, to hope, to live fully. So as the night deepens, as the stars continue their silent songs across the sky, I invite you to rest not just your body, but your heart. Rest in the knowing that you are doing something beautiful, something rare, something most people never dare to do. You are choosing to live on purpose. You are choosing to honor your story. You are choosing to care for the sacred gift that is your life. And when you wake tomorrow, know that the future you is already smiling, already grateful, already stronger because of what you chose tonight. So close your eyes gently. Let the night carry you. Let healing wrap you in its quiet arms. And sleep not as someone who is running from age or loss or fear, but as someone who is moving toward life, awake, wise, and filled with new beginnings. Because this is not the end of your story. It is a beautiful, hope-filled new chapter. And it all begins right now. Good night, my dear friend. Sleep deeply, live brightly, and remember, the best is yet to come. Before we part tonight, I want to leave you with a small story. A story not about science or health or rules, but about the heart. There once was a woman named Clara. She lived a quiet, beautiful life in a small house filled with sunlight, old books, and the scent of lavender drifting through the open windows. At 72, Clara had seen many seasons pass, the joyful springs of love, the hot summers of raising children, the bittersweet autumns of watching them leave, and now the gentle winter of her own reflections. Every night, Clara had a habit. She would sit by the window after dinner, a small plate of cookies and a glass of milk beside her. It was her way of ending the day, a ritual stitched into the fabric of her life. But over time, she began to notice changes. She woke up heavier, more tired. Her dreams faded into a fog she could not touch. The mornings, once filled with energy and promise, grew harder to greet. One evening, as she reached for her cookies, something in her heart whispered, not in fear, not in guilt, but in tenderness. Maybe tonight, you do not need them. Maybe tonight, your body wants something different. And so, for the first time in many years, Clara closed the kitchen door gently and walked outside instead. The stars were just beginning to blink awake. The cool air kissed her cheeks. And in that quiet space between wanting and needing, she found something she had almost forgotten: peace. It was not about the cookies. It was about listening. It was about loving herself enough to ask, what do I truly need tonight? From that evening on, Clara's ritual changed. Not perfectly, not every night, but more often than not, she chose the stars over sweets, the silence over snacking, the healing over habit. And slowly, softly, she found her mornings returning clearer, lighter, stronger. Her life, still rich with memories, opened a new chapter not defined by loss, but by gentle, powerful beginnings. And so can yours. Tonight, maybe you, too, will feel that soft whisper inside. Maybe you, too, will pause at the kitchen door, hand hovering over a small comfort, and hear a sweeter invitation calling you outside, into the cool, healing arms of the night. If you do, know this. You are not giving something up. You are gaining something far greater. You are choosing life. You are choosing love. You are choosing to honor the beautiful, precious soul that is you. And somewhere, beneath the same stars Clara once walked under, your future self is smiling, waiting for you to step into the stronger, freer, more radiant story you were always meant to live. Good night, dear soul. The world is better with you in it. Sleep well, dream deeply, and wake ready to live the life still waiting for you.